Do it.
All right. Thank you, and welcome to another episode of Just Throwing It Out There, the podcast. My name is Sharice, as always, and I am joined by my lovely co hosts, Danny,
Hi.
Talia,
Hey y'all.
Melly. All right, and joining us today is Jasmine Lee. Jasmine is a guidance counselor, a fitness guru extraordinaire, and an all
Ooh.
around superwoman.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, and where are you broadcasting from?
I am broadcasting from Brooklyn, New York, Bed-Stuy, baby.
Yes, Brooklyn's in the house.
Brooklyn. Yes.
Absolutely. Danny, Melly, I'll kick it to you. Yes.
Thank you, Jasmine. We're so glad that you are joining us today. We're going to be picking your brain about fitness, mental health, and just getting your mind and your body right. This is Mental Health Awareness Month, so we just want to put the message out there. Have you share your personal journey with us? Have you give us some little lifestyle and fitness tips and things that just make us feel good about ourselves. So
Right.
let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, Jasmine, Jazzy. Listen, I call Jasmine Lee at work because
Right.
Teachers.
teachers call each other by when you work in a teacher environment, you just call everybody by their last name. So it's hard. I got to get used to just saying Jasmine. But why fitness? Like, tell us why you decided to go into fitness. Why you're passionate about it. A little background.
So I am passionate about fitness because unfortunately in 2011, my mother suddenly passed away from cardiac arrest. And it was definitely a shock for us all. She wasn't overweight, ate pretty well. And it was my life just shattered from one evening to the next morning. So I started fitness as a way for me to just kind of cope with her loss. And, it was difficult because not only did she pass away suddenly, but I was living at home at the time. So I heard, my father wake up screaming, was actually there through everything, trying to resuscitate her, calling 911. So it was definitely something that was traumatic for me. And I had to find something that would be a positive outlet because so many times we deal with trauma and people choose the opposite route to go instead of trying to turn into fitness. So I felt like if I didn't start exercising, then my mother's death would be in vain. So I started with running. We lived across the street from Van Cortlandt Park up in the Bronx, and I would just go outside and just start running. Then, it turned into me joining a gym. And then fast forward 8 years later, I was like, I need to make this a business. I want to help other women that suffered the same loss to be able to heal or work on healing the way I have. And I also wanted to prevent death, right? I wanted to prevent Black women and women in general from having to, not be able to be there for their children when they transitioned into motherhood or marriage, or just those life milestones that you want, especially when you have a close relationship with a parent, right? My mother was my best friend. So I was like, I need to start doing preventative work. So that's what led me to Jazzy Fitness. In the long story short, because I could go on and on, but that's the start. That's the why behind the logo. That's the why behind the business.
Yeah. I know that also for women, the heart disease is like a thing for women as well, where it creeps in there and you think you're okay, and then all of a sudden you're kind of not. I know that everyone's fitness journey is different. Everybody has a different reason for doing it, right? But I think when I just started working out again with Jasmine this week, I was working out with her last year. the month before the pandemic in February, she did a month challenge thing, and we were working out every day. And there was before pictures and after pictures, and I remember like it was a big joke with my before pictures or whatever with the measurements. We were cracking up about that. But when I did my after pictures, and she's like, do you actually see like the difference? And I was like, oh shoot, there actually is a difference, right? Because the one thing I always tell Jazz is like, look, I love to eat. Like I'm little, but I love food. And I said, I don't want it to be where I have to cut anything out that I like to eat, right? And I think one of the main things that I loved about Jasmine, first of all, her overall positive attitude and her overall positive outlook on everything. That's key for me because you want to surround yourself with people like that, right? But also the fact that she wasn't like, listen, don't eat this, don't eat that, don't like that never came out of her mouth. It was just really about moderation and just, okay, you can have it, but don't have a whole plate of it, right? So you can have some French fries, but don't eat the whole thing of French fries. Just have some French fries, just not to take anything away from the things that you like to enjoy and the things that you like to eat. So I thought that was like that's key for me because I was like I don't want to give up bread. Like I love bread. Like why would I want to give up bread?
Right.
Like that.
Right.
Listen, I gave up bread for Lent, and my coworkers back in Plainfield, they're like, "Why did you do that?" Because I would drive them crazy for 40 days. I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna eat y'all. I don't even know what I'm
Choose a different item next time. Yeah.
40 days.
Yes, they said never do that again, and if
Yeah.
you do, you better not be working here.
Jazzy, what would you say? What would you say is because that seems like a barrier that people feel like they have to cut out major things out of their diet, and it just seems like an impossible task. Can you walk us through some of the barriers that prevent people from making these like fitness changes? Because I'm asking for a friend. Um, as
Right.
somebody who needs to work out and start being more physically conscious, I'm beyond that point, and I just need to know
I
what.
thought
Beyond.
it was your friend.
Yes.
Oh
It was
yeah,
a friend.
I mean, yeah, no, yeah, um,
Well, I think what Melissa pointed out was key, right? Dieting is a recipe for disaster, right? You cut certain things out, you're going to eat it again, right? So people start cutting things out as a way of a jump start to a better lifestyle. But in retrospect, your metabolism is going to slow down. And as soon as you start nourishing your body with that same diet and foods that you cut out of your system, so as soon as you put it in your mouth, the weight is going to come back 10 times faster. So I always tell people moderation. Don't cut anything out. If you want to lean out, I'll give you the recipe for that. Follow a low carb diet. That doesn't mean for 3 days, don't eat carbs, and then day 4, 5, 6, 7, go crazy. No, if your thing is juicing, juice in the morning, have a healthy snack, eat lunch, and then for dinner have protein and vegetables, right? Or vice versa. If you want to do a salad for lunch, have spaghetti with pasta for dinner. I think that it's a misconception where people I don't agree with the keto diet and all of these different
Mediterranean,
things that we start, right.
Remember the
Miami,
Atkins? Remember the Atkins when people were just eating burgers?
Yes,
They're just taking the burgers out
no
of the bun.
burgers. Just
right, because it's a lifestyle change and it's a journey, right? So you want to, and also there's nothing wrong with having a coach, or there's nothing wrong with having an accountability partner or a group. And also be intentional, right? What are you purchasing when you go to the market? Are you meal prepping? Are you writing out what your week is going to look like in terms of your nourishment? So it's about being intentional with every aspect of your life. We pour in so much to all of these companies and all of these different things that may not particularly serve us purpose, but then we forget about our own self-care, right? So if it's the change that you want to see, you have to just start and be consistent, right? The stop, go, this diet, that diet. No, it's like I said, it's a recipe for disaster. So being intentional, getting a coach, getting, even if it's your group of girlfriends, that you just hold one another accountable, that is helpful. Some people have the ambition to like get up and just go to the gym, get up and just go run. It's difficult because at the end of the day, life is hard, right? So we get hit with those traumas, we get hit with those things that, hit us from left field. And it's like, oh shit, like, and food is a source of therapy sometimes. It's
and comfort.
It's comforting.
It's not called comfort food for nothing.
I always suggest moderation. So for me personally, I try to do well Sunday through Thursday. Follow that: juice, snack, lunch, protein, vegetables. And then on Fridays, listen, this is gonna go in a little bit. And I'm okay with that because guess what? The next morning I'm gonna pop up and I'm gonna go hard and I'm gonna work out. Now, can I do that 4, 5, 6, 7 days a week? No.
Right.
Because the outcome will just be, I wouldn't be a trainer. Because people look at you and judge you like, sis, what's going on? So, you have to be mindful of that too. So that's my suggestion in terms of, and break down those barriers. Like, what's stopping you? What's stopping you? What's stopping you from reaching, those short-term goals, right? And like I said, just being intentional, having your plan. If you're working out 3 times a week, you're working out 3 times a week. It's your me time, whether you are a wife, whether you are a mother, whether you are, a full-time employee, because like I said, we pour so much into others. We need to put ourselves first. It's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
See?
So Jazzy, can you tell us, like, if someone were to, like, you talked about how you work out with Melly, right? And you all had started working out. Like, what would a typical, like, initial session or like workout regimen, like if someone were to work with you, what would that look like? What you got your finger up about?
I can answer that for her. I'm gonna tell you how it goes right now. It goes,
boy.
ow, ow, ouch, ouch, more ow, ow, ow.
No.
Stretching.
No.
You got to the stretch.
Melly's gonna scare the people away, Jazzy. That's not how
I'm not
it
gonna
goes.
scare the people away. That's how it goes for me, guys. That is not how it goes for people.
That's a typical first session for you, Melly.
That's not typical. That's just for me.
Melly, you're fired from the marketing team, by the way. You stay executive producing. Let us worry about marketing.
It's out of love, and sometimes she'd be like, "How y'all doing?" And then all she sees is my eye, like, "How y'all doing out there?" I'm like,
"That's accurate information." So listen, I'd say that private sessions, personal sessions are a lot more intimate, and I will bring the pace down. But when you are hosting group fitness classes, it's difficult to reach all levels of fitness, right? Because you have different people. You have, all different size of women. So you have to cater to the group. So I will say that my group fitness sections are a lot more intense than a private, or, if you and your friend decide that you want to work out, we take a little bit more breaks, especially when it's in person as opposed to virtual. My virtual classes are high intense. I do focus on strength building as well as cardio, a lot of cardio. We target different muscle groups. So it all depends. It all depends on what, and I do offer modifications, so I will say, instead of doing this, do this. So this way, you can push and you can also pull back based on where you're at in terms of your own physical level. So that's what I would suggest. I think that starting out with a group that has the same common goals is a lot easier, or, jumping on just to feel a part of a community is great too, because it challenges you. And our bodies really can do anything we put our mental to, so I push them. I do push them, but I pull back sometimes too. And not every class is as intense as others, it depends on what muscle group we're focusing on at that time. But ask Melly, we banged out 30 burpees this morning.
We did.
Oh,
wow.
Listen,
that was me pulling back. That was me pulling back, because sometimes it could be, sometimes we hit 100 burpees, not straight through, Look at Sharice. Like,
Yeah,
She's like, hold on, hold on.
uh-huh.
so
I'm not there yet.
It depends. It depends.
Mhm.
And listen, is everyone hitting 100 burpees? No, but if you give me 30, if you give me 40 based on your pace, that's still, it's your workout.
It's better than zero.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jazz, what you're saying is like, and I'm just giving a hypothetical, like, say if we are together as a group, right? The four of us, and we're kind of all, I mean, Melly's been going in, but everybody else, we're kind of like, all right, it's been a minute, right?
Entry level.
And so if we came to you and said, we want to have like a little group session and we're all on this and we're all comfortable with each other, right? You would be able to set, like, we would be able to schedule something like that with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would ask you, beginners, do you want beginners? Do you want intimate? Do you want advanced? What do you want to focus on? Do you want to do lower body mixed with a little bit of cardio? Do you just want cardio? So it would be the needs of the group, the needs and the wants. You know what you want to focus on, and I will provide it for you.
Okay, yes.
Listen,
yes.
I be laughing because she always sends me a message after the workout, like how you feeling, and I was like, it don't matter how I feel. And I sent her peaches. I just sent her the peaches. I was like, it don't matter how I feel, and I just sent her peaches. And she already know I'm working on these. I'm targeting areas, right? I'm targeting areas.
You're getting your booty
like
together for your hot girl summer.
Is that what's happening?
Jasmine, how do you fit your workout regimens and your own personal workout regimens and, your, I guess, second job as a fitness trainer? How do you fit that all in with your day job?
So it's so good that you said that, because I was at the point where I was like, the trainer has to train, right? So I'm hosting 3 virtual classes a week. And then I have private clients that I take in on Mondays and Thursdays, just like little 30-minute sessions, because that's all the time I really could provide. But now, since the gyms have reopened, I did renew my membership and join a gym again. So I hit the gym 3 to 4 times in the morning before work.
Oh, wow.
Before work, because like I said, the trainer has to train. So if I'm hosting classes and just private sessions, when am I pushing myself to new heights? So to answer that question, I go to the gym in the morning before work.
Okay. And then after work, all your sessions and
after work, Monday through Thursday, I'm pretty locked in. I stopped taking clients on Friday because I'm like, you need a day to yourself. And what if Melly and I want to get up for a drink after work? I don't have 2 days. Make those plans.
Happy hours. We need the happy hours nowadays. You need those happy hours.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
Well, I have a question. So there's this conception that it is expensive to be healthy. So would you say that's a misconception? Is it accurate? Is it someplace in the middle? What do you think?
I think that it is 110% accurate. I think that when you look at inner city versus suburban areas, the food chain changes completely. So our communities, it's kind of like it's in our face. You walk around the corner, liquor stores right there. You go up the street, it's Kennedy Fried Chicken. You make a left, now you at McDonald's. So I don't think that it's in between. And I also think that finances play a role in it, right? When you look at lower socioeconomic areas and their income, they don't shop at Whole Foods. They don't, and some of them do. I'm not saying that they do not. However, it's a lot more expensive. Now, of course, you can go to your local grocery store and make better choices in terms of what you pick, but I just feel like everything is so in your face. And that's another reason why stroke and cardiac disease is prevalent and so high in the African American community, because the resources are lacking and we don't have a nice chain of salad bars or Chopped or all of these different things in food chains. in our area. So no misconception whatsoever. And that could be my own personal opinion in terms of experience, but I've seen both sides. I go into areas and I'm like, oh wow, this is what we're offering. And then, I live in Bed-Stuy, so I see it, so no misconception at all.
How do you reach your clients? Who are your people that you work with? Who do you find are your...
So it's funny that, okay, so prior to the pandemic, I was writing programs. I was just writing programs, selling programs, really trying to market myself that way on Instagram. And I was like, everybody is doing that. All of these like young fitness trainers and these women that are like super cut up. And I'm like, I have to reach a different market. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be 40 next year, right? So my audience is a lot different from what I see when I'm swiping. So I started hosting free virtual classes last March. As soon as the pandemic hit and the gym closed, I was like, whoa, now I can't fall off. And this is also a way for me to open up audience to other people. So it was actually my girlfriend that signed on for the virtual classes. I would have people pop in. Some were consistent. I was doing like 7-day challenges where we worked out for 7 days straight. Then we had to go hit and run a mile to a mile and a half. Then you come back in the evening, do 20 minutes of core. Like it was just a range of different things I was offering during this time in which so many people were stressed out. So that was March, that was April, that was May, that was June. And my girlfriend that I grew up with, she would just, after each workout, she would be like, oh, y'all got to get on Jazzy Fitness. Like she was really that person and that voice. And she actually, her childhood friend bought in and she was like, oh no, Kia, you keep on going on and talking about this Jazzy Fitness. I have to start one of her programs. So, and she is a doula.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
When I tell you it takes one person to just believe in you, it really takes one person. And let me tell you, I have a whole community of doulas, their family members. So since I probably started charging in July, and I want to say from that point to this point, I'll average at least 10 to 12 women a month to sign up for my virtual class.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was through word of mouth, through doulas and people who are into fitness. And
word of mouth is the best.
And having ambassadors, right? Yeah.
And they love me. I'm like, the doulas love Jazzy. I love you too. They're a great group of women. And then, like even now, I have a male that's been with me the last 3 months. He joined with his wife. So, it's social media, just, and I always talk about, sometimes I get a little discouraged because I'll be like, listen, I'm posting all this content. Where's my girlfriends at? Why they not under my, and I talk about algorithm, right? And it is just one repost or one comment. Listen, I'm gonna throw you guys up on my story too, because that's what we do. This is as women.
Yes.
We need to uplift, we need to encourage, we need to inspire, because guess what? The men ain't gonna do it. And I'm just being 100% honest, right?
As a man walks through the background.
Right? He knows, because I'm like women all day. Because at the end of the day, it's a different type of nurturing.
Like what? Say what now?
It's a different type of connection. And it's something that men just don't understand. We need to see more of it. We need to see more of it.
How important is a support system, whether it be in your home, your friends, your family? How important is that, or how detrimental could that be? Because if you have a bunch of people that aren't working out or doing or having lifestyle changes in their lives, how mentally strong do you need to be to like overcome that? Well, nobody's doing what I'm doing. Tell me a little bit about that.
So the good thing is that my companion, he definitely was into physical fitness before we got together.
Okay.
So that was definitely important. And I always say, like people be like, oh, you will never say that I started working out because of a man, because my journey started way before he even came into the picture.
Right.
This is personal. This is about me. So I will say that it is helpful because he does encourage me and push me into, especially when we hit the gym together, it's a different type of challenge because, men are into like a lot of lifting and weights. Now, what I will say is the food part.
Is he on a
It's
strict
different.
protein and?
No,
I feel like guys,
they eat anything.
whatever they want.
Horrible. Okay.
Yeah.
When I say horrible, horrible.
Okay.
And to make matters worse, he has a 17-year-old son,
Mm-hmm.
and they both eat horrible. He has a nice physique, a nice build. I'm like, I can't eat like you.
Yeah.
I cannot eat like you. So during the pandemic, it was challenging. I did notice, some changes in my body, especially after the warmer months, started to we started entering into like fall and winter.
Right.
And then in January, unfortunately, my brother passed away.
Oh,
so that was like another setback. And then prior to that, in December, we had another close friend of the family that passed away. So a lot of times when I'm dealing with grief, sometimes it's just like I work out, but it's like, and I work out. So I say that to say sometimes I cook a separate meal for me that I prepare for them, because I have to be intentional, because I'm like, if I eat like them every day, nobody's gonna buy into my program. They're gonna be like, she trained and who and why and how. So I'm very mindful of that. And as of recently, I've really, really incorporated just like a new type of nutrition plan that I follow. So, I juice or have a protein shake in the morning. And I disclosed it a little while ago, little healthy snack midday. And when I come home, I either eat lunch that includes a carb, one carb a day for me. Like I said, on Fridays and Saturdays, I may indulge a little bit, but this has been working for me. And, just in like 3 to 4 weeks, I'm already seeing changes. Because it's 80% diet.
And I like that you're like, I think the one thing that you're saying to us is to allow ourselves some grace and give ourselves, permission to feel and to eat what we want to eat and not have to kind of, totally give up things. And just if something's going on in your life, right? You said you work out, but then you eat a little bit, but you have to give yourself space and time for that, because and I don't know your experience, Jazzy, if you could share with us, but like when folks get on these like really strict like regimens, like what's been your experience with that? Like,
you will fail, because I've done it. I've done it. I was the one, I did Master Cleanse when that whole like cayenne pepper lemonade thing was out with Beyonce.
Done it.
Look, I'm pointing, but not pointing.
I know, right?
I've done it. What I will recommend is there's nothing wrong with a nice detox about 3 to 4 times a year, right? Where I cleanse. I'll do like, but my max is 3 days.
okay.
I'll juice for 3 days. And then that's it. But I don't do it as a means to lose weight. I do it as a means to just clean out my system.
Exactly.
And get all the toxicities out. Some people that do that, again, once they start incorporating and bringing carbs and protein and other things back into their diet, the weight comes back so much faster. And especially, my age and the group of women that, I work with, we're older. Our metabolism is not the same. And I tell everyone too, it's about the feeling too. It's about releasing those endorphins and just feeling good and whole. It's not always going to be about the look. Yes, whatever your goal is and whatever your path is, that's fine. That's for you. I'm not going to give you a plan and say, all right, in 30 days, you're going to be snatched.
Right.
No, it's not realistic. That's not even how life is designed. And stop looking at these young girls, okay? Because
Exactly.
I'm like,
and stop looking at these women that are getting their bodies done. Because
that's
that's
not
not
real life.
Unrealistic.
Yeah.
That's just not real life. And they pass
you
it
gotta
off as
go
real
and
life.
get the little massages so that they don't be having like the little bumps and stuff. Like that's too much. That's too much.
I'm just gonna live with these bumps.
Yeah, right.
Jazzy, where do you see or envision your business in, I don't want to say a 5-year plan, or because people always say 5-year plan, but what do you see for the future?
I want my own place. I want my own, and I'm not gonna say gym. I want a sanctuary.
Oh.
Right. I want a safe
like it.
place for women to come and be themselves, no matter what size you are. I want you to come and I want you to give your testimony. I want you to, and it doesn't have to be big, it could be small. I want to eventually have someone young that can host my virtual classes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I envision. I always tell Melissa and the coworkers that, I have a relationship at work. I'm on an 8-year plan. So Jazzy Fitness, that's my plan. In 8 years, if it happens sooner, great. If it doesn't, it has to happen.
It's still gonna happen.
Yes, I want my place. You can come have training in person. If your lifestyle fits you to see a virtual trainer, we'll provide that for you too. A little
I like that you said sanctuary though. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
A safe place.
Yeah, because I will say I can remember after having my daughter, going back to the gym, and you look at everybody and it's like, I don't see anybody that looks like me. You know what I mean? So it doesn't feel always like a place where all are welcome necessarily.
Yeah.
And maybe for me, maybe it was how I was feeling at the time.
Right.
That could be it too. But walking into a gym and, I used to teach fitness classes, and one of the things I was told is you don't want to have mirrors in there. Well, you walk into these gyms and the mirrors are everywhere.
Yep.
Now, understand the mirrors are good. They're great for form. But when people are coming in and they're not ready yet and they're trying to get fit, they don't want to look at themselves like that the whole time. So I understand kind of why they put the mirror so you can see your form, you can see this, but that's okay. That's why your trainer is there. They can fix your form. But I like the idea of the sanctuary where all body types, everybody feels good about being there.
Yes.
That's the one thing I will say also with the gyms. I don't think I ever really felt comfortable at gyms either, because the misconception is that Melly's skinny. Why is she at the gym? But Melly's out of shape. Melly be tired walking up some stairs, right? Like it's always been like, why is she skinny?
Well, there's different reasons people go to the
But I
gym.
think
Like,
that, I think I used to get like people get that like, what are you going to the gym for?
yeah,
What are you doing?
it could be conditioning, you could be training, you could be
strength. Yeah.
Strength
it could be a lot of different reasons. I mean,
taking care of my heart. It's so many reasons, right, to go to the gym. And I just think, again, it's like you said, there's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of things that people, and also that you sometimes start to believe too, right? Like you hear people say things, and again, like you said, you scrolling, but again, those are very unrealistic bodies.
And you know what? People are vain and people are shallow. I've had girlfriends say to me, "Well, Jazzy, you need to show a little bit more of your body." And I'm like, "No, I don't." Because you're gonna buy into my content whether I have on short shorts and the sports bra or not, because I'm about the exercise. I'm about the feeling.
right.
I'm not like, again, my content is my content. You're gonna buy into it if you buy into it, because there's a lot of talent out there, right? There's a lot of trainers. There is so much talent out there, but energy is unmatched. No one's gonna match your energy. No one's gonna match your uniqueness. No one's gonna match the type of exercise, ability, skills, whatever the case may have you. So if I'm meant for you, then I'm meant for you. And if I'm not,
okay,
then there's somebody else, right?
Find someone that matches. And also, let's tell the people about the bomb playlist. The playlist be so good. Like that. Sometimes
I put a lot of
the playlist get me through. This morning, I was like, "Oh, here's."
We was jamming, right?
I can do this. Luther is playing. I got it.
So you have so music is your motivation. Music plays a big part.
Gotta have a nice playlist.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. The playlist is on point.
And listen, we don't do. Sometimes it gets a little ratchet, but not often.
That's fine.
Not often.
Ratchet is fun.
Ratchet is fun.
I like. No, yeah, it's a nice mix.
How ratchet? A nuck if you buck. Ratchet
Please don't get us started. Please don't get us.
We popping.
It just depends on my mental state that day. It depends.
Oh,
And the audience too, because listen, I have some Caucasian women on my set. So I need to cater to them as well. So it just all depends on the day. Sometimes we twerking, sometimes we not.
I love it.
In between, I like to dance in between. A few rests that
she likes to dance in between.
I do.
Yeah,
I'll be over there like
breath. Melly's catching her breath.
Catching my breath. I'm drinking my water. I'm wiping my sweat.
So Melly,
dancing soon.
Melly, you do the virtual classes?
I do.
Okay.
Well, prior to the pandemic, I did the February month challenge with her. And I said we were fortunate because we worked together. So we would just stay at work and work out, right? So it worked. So that was perfect. And then I remember exactly the week that the world shut down. We went to work on Monday. I worked out that week virtually. I did like 3 days or something that week. And then I got the COVID the following week.
Oh,
and I think once I got Corona, I just think that
between
anxiety, just my anxiety went through the roof, just being sad, being worried, and I didn't work out anymore. I hadn't worked out since then. I'll be like, I bought a bike. I did get a bike and I've been bike riding, but I hadn't done nothing else as far as working out is concerned. And then I started, every time I would see Jazz, I'm like, listen, I got to get back on it. I'm going to come back, right? I would tell you, like, I'm going to come back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. And so this week,
and I think that sorry, Sharice, to cut you off, but I didn't want to lose my train of thought. I think that's what's important because Melissa just brought up anxiety, right? The more you incorporate fitness into your lifestyle, the better you will be able to adjust when life throws you curveballs. So it's almost as if, yes, this is happening to me. This is a high stressful time in my life, but I know if I hit this circuit, I know if I go for a run, I'm going to immediately feel better. Even for that day.
Jules.
Yes.
Wake up and you're still feeling down and you hit that recharge button, it hits your feet on the pavement or on the ground or on the floor, wherever you're working out at. It helps. It helps. I always tell people fitness has been my saving grace. It saved my life. Fitness saved my life. Unequivocally, undeniably, it has saved my life.
That's awesome. Where can the people find you and get your virtual classes, or where can they meet you? Are you doing, even in the COVID times, are you doing actual physical training, like in person right now?
No, one person just recently reached out to me and I was like, I was still kind of on the fence. So I'm waiting for her. I am open to training in person. Again now, especially because it's the summertime, we can hit outdoors.
Yeah.
But in terms of, you could request to be a member on my site, jazzyfitness.com. That is where you will get the updates. If you want to buy a program, if you want to sign up for a single class, if you want to sign up for a package, you can also follow me at Jazzy Fitness 10 for some inspiration, motivation. Listen, we are all trying to figure out our day-to-day together, but I'm a firm believer in what you feed your mind and your soul helps you grow as an individual. And it's important that you protect your peace at all costs. I don't care.
Woo.
Yes, Jesse, you better tell them.
Dropping
Yes.
Like
jewels.
the meme. Like the
I should have
meme.
worn my
At
shirt
all
today.
costs.
You better tell
Heavy
them.
on
all
protecting my
costs.
peace.
That's right.
Yep.
That
We
includes
talk about
family,
that
friends,
piece
significant other,
constantly.
kids. I'm not a mother, but take your breaks when you need your breaks. It is okay to establish and set boundaries. And
Girl.
that is what COVID has brought out in me. You know, only guidance counselor to about 860 kids.
Wow.
Mm.
So
Yes.
listen, I have a bomb social worker. We work really well together. But at the end of the day, it is a very stressful position.
Mm-hmm.
Boundaries, though.
Yeah.
I have people
Mhm.
call my office sometimes now. Is this guidance related? Respectfully, you know, like you'll be in your car eating a whole pint of ice cream afterwards if you do not establish boundaries in your life. You have to.
Mhm.
You have to.
That's
I like the respectfully. I like the pause.
respectfully.
It's a little
Respectfully.
I
pause.
use it all the time
Respectfully.
now.
I love it.
I love it.
I'm
Respectfully.
implementing that immediately.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Thank you for the invitation, but respectfully, I cannot make it. I have to
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for thinking of me for this project, but respectfully, I don't
respectfully-
have the time to do
Respectfully.
it.
Your piece is priceless. You
Let's-
can't
Yes.
price
But
that
Jazzy
on.
had it because she does. It's like a pause. It's you've been doing this for years. You're a professional. I get it with the respectfully, but it's like a pause that she takes, and then it's like respectfully. Right?
Comma.
Comma. Yeah, it's a comma there, right? I like it. I like it.
It's like the stressor.
Mhm.
It's like respectfully.
Like that's the
That's the point.
punctuation. That's
Yeah.
the period. Yeah.
People will try to bring your energy down, and you cannot allow them to. Your
We
mood
talk
is-
about this
Do you
all
need to go for a walk respectfully?
Listen,
Take a
we
minute.
talk about this
Don't
all.
kill my
Jazz
joy
and I
right
talk
now.
about our peace, protecting our peace all
Mhm.
the time. 'Cause
Mhm.
You
people
got
will
to.
try you. People be
They will
trying
try it.
Yeah.
They will try it. You're not gonna take my
Alright.
sunshine. You're
Well,
Mhm.
you know what this time in the show
Yes.
is it's
My-
our
my least
Ver-Sis.
favorite.
How does
It's
this
your
work?
least
Not your least
favorite?
favorite. It's not your least favorite.
It's not
Cut
my
it
least
out.
favorite. It's just it gives me anxiety. I'm probably gonna have to go for a bike ride after this.
You need to
Right. Go
do
release those
something physical.
endorphins.
Great
Yeah.
though. I'm
Part
not gonna
two,
lie.
part
I'm in a
two.
great mood today. I got up early. We worked out early. It was excellent. So I was cleaning. I was doing a whole bunch today after the workout. So I did feel great. today.
I'm happy to hear that.
That's good.
Good deal. All right. So Ver-Sis, who's handling Ver-Sis today?
Well, first we need to so Jazzy, how Ver-Sis works, and for everybody out there in listening and viewing land. So Ver-Sis, if you've watched any of the verses, right,
Mhm,
that have
yeah.
gone on where they have two artists, right? Well, we take one artist and we pit their songs against each other, and we force you to choose one of the two, right? And the point is, it's
Ooh.
gonna make you a little uncomfortable, right? We always leave here sweating because it's like, oh my gosh, I cannot choose. Right, but we ask that you choose. We always ask the guest to go first, right? So that's the reason.
Okay.
So we asked Jazzy to send us some of her favorite artists so that we could make her so uncomfortable, right? She's gonna have to choose.
It is gonna make you uncomfortable.
Yep.
All
So
right,
I'm
let's go.
on my Beyonce stuff, and I'm on my Lemonade stuff right now. That's where I'm at with it. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna say Hold Up versus Sorry.
Mm.
I ain't sorry.
I'm sorry.
So Jazzy, guests first. Hold Up. She don't love you like I love you.
Mm. Mm.
Now,
So I'm looking at it with videos. In the
Oh.
video, she had the baseball bat
This is
Right.
why we always
she's running through the streets.
with
With
the
the bat.
baseball
Destroying.
bat.
Yep. Yep.
I'm gonna go with Hold Up.
There you go. It's the baseball bat.
Definitely let that aggression out, sis. Let it out. Speak. I'm going with Hold Up.
Hold Up. Okay.
But she's talking her shit,
Mhm.
and I'm not sorry.
She is.
I'm
I'm
serious.
gonna go with I'm
Hold
not
up.
sorry.
I'm gonna go with I'm not sorry.
You're in the talking. And then then
I don't-
there's
middle
the
fingers up.
physical.
I'm not sorry.
I'm still with
Tell
hold
them
up.
boy back.
Yeah.
I ain't thinking about you.
Nope.
I'm
Nope.
going with sorry. I'm going with sorry.
You
I'm
going
going
with
with
sorry?
Sorry's my sorry.
Hey.
That's my anthem. Yeah.
I didn't choose one because I don't think
thought
I
you
could
did
choose
choose
the
because you
video.
did
I'm
choose.
looking at the
I'm
video.
already outvoted.
It's not a voting. It doesn't
It's
matter.
not.
Well,
Well,
We're
it's
voting.
not
I'm
outvote.
not
No,
voted
no.
very. I'm not voted often.
I'm gonna go with I'm not sorry.
We're rarely unanimous in this room. So
Very
don't worry
rarely.
about it, Jess.
Very
Very
Never.
I
rarely.
love it. I love what you guys are doing. Much success.
Oh, thank you. Laughing
We got
and
one more?
learning.
You want
That's
to do
it.
one more?
We
Let's
got
go.
We can do one more.
Okay, let's do it.
You
Go
want to do
ahead.
another B? We doing B
We
again?
could do another B. Let's do
B
Beyonce.
got hits.
So if
Let's
we're
go.
doing B, I'm gonna go with best thing I never had. Best thing I never had. Yep, that's the one. And irreplaceable. Oh,
You must not
Oh.
know about me.
Oh, irreplaceable.
Irreplaceable.
You must not know
Irreplaceable.
You
about me.
must not know about me.
You
yeah.
must not
What
know.
goes around
Jazzy, what say
comes
you?
back around.
What's we didn't even let
Irreplaceable.
Jazz go first.
Oh, she
She
said
already said
irreplaceable.
irreplaceable.
Definitely.
Really, that's my
You
karaoke.
must
To
song.
the left, to the left. Come
Yes.
on.
know about
Everything you
me.
own in the
To the left.
That was easy.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't you ever for a second get to think.
Oh,
Don't you ever. Ever.
That was
ever.
easy.
That was too easy.
That was.
I thought that was easy.
That
yeah.
was
You're on
easy.
the fence.
boy.
To the left
I know.
is classic.
It's
But I
classic.
like that what
It is.
goes around comes
I
back
like that
It's
too,
great.
but it's not. It's not
not-
irreplaceable.
It's not irreplaceable.
Mm,
Yeah, you
Written
must
by
not know about
Neo.
me.
that was
written
written by Neo. It was. It
Oh,
was.
he's incredible.
Yeah. Well, I
Well,
don't
thank you.
I think we're good. I think we're good.
Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah,
joining
think
us,
so.
Jazzy. We enjoyed
That was
having you.
great.
For
So-
having me. It was
Yes.
such a great time.
Thank you for dropping gems and jewels.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
My
yes.
pleasure.
And so what
My-
we're going to do is have all your information posted in the comments below
Yes.
in YouTube, and we'll also make sure that we tag you up when we
Yep.
post things on social media so that everybody can follow you. Just before we leave, can you give us your website and your IG again, please, Jazzy?
Yes, it's my website is www.jazzyfitness.com and my IG is Jazzy Fitness 10.
Jazzy Fitness 10. There you go. So
And
let me
Jazzy
just
got merch for real.
Jazzy
got
does have
for
merch.
real.
That's
I
hot.
see.
see, we got to talk
See,
to you about
actual
that.
merch.
Oh gosh, let me
That's
thank the people.
actual
Y'all
Here
are
we go,
listening.
Sharice.
Sharice,
Get on it,
listen,
get on
we
it.
got
Y'all
merch
got this.
coming. We got merch
Sharice is
coming.
like, don't hang up after this. We got
Show us how to get the actual
Yeah,
merch.
we're gonna talk to you, Jazzy.
all right.
So we just want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening and following. If you guys could do us a favor real quick, just go in and like, follow, share, and subscribe. We're hitting you with new episodes every Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed our guest, Jazzy. We enjoyed you. I hope you got something out of the message. You can find us every Wednesday on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you do your streaming for your podcasts. All right. So we're gonna
Love
be
it.
out, ladies.
We knucking and bucking.
We're not
and
looking at Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.